This is Paul. Yes. As you go through the employees for the last 40 years of the independent agencies, yes. Could you get me their actual applications for employment, their signatures, and their email addresses? Pooch. Now, I would have thought that somebody would realize how criminal it is to issue court orders where there is no actual notice to the respondent. Pooch. Where there's forgery and fraud on the court, and that every court officer, inclusive of every attorney, prosecuting attorneys, and public defenders, realize that it is against the law to arrest people without any evidence of them having committed any crimes. Ouch. Now, for those that are employees of the federal government that thought that their jobs were secure, I think that they actually are liable. Pooch. I'm wanting my sons today, and I want my money. See, I'm sitting here with 50 cents in my pocket, and I'm going to have to take some of my time to go sell 2 cigarettes to get the other 50 cents to be able to buy some papers. And I'm drinking instant coffee because nobody in the United States federal government wanted to obligate courts to remove court orders where there was no due process. Yes. Where the petitioner didn't sign it? Yes. Where there's forgeries and fraud? Yes. Now, as that American citizen, I'm thinking that you're going to be buying my products. Now, why would I? Oh my gosh, look at all those buildings that the federal government maintains or builds. Pooch. You know, the United States Treasury spends a lot of money on the buildings of the employees, and if we didn't have the independent agencies, that would free up a lot of office space now, wouldn't it? Pooch. Let's say you had to go with wood instead of steel studs. You had to use 2x4s. Pooch. Had to insulate it. You know, when you look at the lumber industry, almost everything you purchase from a lumber yard uses a kiln to dry it. Yes. And I know all those loggers that were absolutely sure that they'd take my property. Pooch. Is it possible that Bill and Melinda Gates actually own some sort of residence out there in the Olympic Mountains that was built on my property that I, as a heir to the Elmer and Verna Holz fortune? Could you get me every property built in the forest that you had a lease from the National Park Service, Bill and Melinda Gates, and you built something? It was a rumor. Nobody knows for sure. But I'd like to know every property that was built on Park Service land and then on U.S. forest land. There's a little difference there, isn't there? Now, I'm just wanting to know, are you intentionally keeping me from my trees? When I look at the actual lumber industry, it could be that when you cut down a tree, yes, and then you saw it up into workable 2x6s, 2x beams, yes. I thought about the beams that are being used in America's building. I'm going to want the kilns that are using electricity or gas to manufacture any lumber product that I might be able to sell them one of these new kiln drying systems where it produces more electricity than what it uses. Now, I know you as an electricity producer like kilns because they use a lot of electricity. They really do. Or you're a gas seller, are you? Propane or natural gas? And for you, the whole drying process of lumber is such a profitable business. Pooch. I thought I would replace every kiln in the United States using my technology so that they would get paid to use the kiln that they purchased from me. Pooh! Now, let's say you're in the drying business, you're in the brick drying business, the block drying business, the cement drying business, the lumber drying business, and you're spending all that money as a utility cost to the manufacturing of your goods when I could go in, I could rearrange it for you, and then you could pay me at 7% a year for the next 10 to 20 years as you pay off the kiln because of the selling to the electric grid, the electricity that the HHO gas dryer doesn't use. Now, let's say this is a multi-billion dollar business where America's manufacturers are paying all this cost in utility usage. And you're obstructing me from introducing new innovations that would save them an immense amount of money. And I'm in the business of setting them up so it doesn't cost them anything out of pocket. Now, if I called Mutual Materials over there in Bellevue and asked you, well, how many bricks did you sell last year? Millions of them, is that right? Somebody's been building skyscrapers and adding veneer finishes.